Hi, my name is Zoe Gardner. I'm a migrants' rights activist and I work in the charity sector alongside lots of colleagues who are defending the rights of migrants and refugees in the UK and across Europe. The Independent asked me to answer some of your questions about refugee and migration policy in the UK, so let's have a look. First question, what does a good asylum system look like? A good asylum system looks nothing like what we have right now. A good asylum system would have safe routes for people to be able to come to the country and access that system without risking their lives. It would accommodate people while they're waiting for a decision in dignified conditions, and it would give them good quality decisions within a reasonable time frame, no more than a few months, so that people can start to rebuild their lives here in safety when they've escaped such traumatizing situations. Is the threat of deportation and asylum processing in Rwanda a real deterrent to either the traffickers who take payments before the boat crossings or to the migrants seeking a better future? No. Most people who are making this kind of journey have no idea what our asylum policies look like when they get here. All they know about the UK is that we're prosperous, safe, and we respect human rights. That's what they know. That's why they're seeking to come here. They have no idea about the system of sending people to Rwanda. And at this point, you've got to try to imagine they've gone through so much. They've very often been exposed to torture, trafficking. They've probably seen people die along the way. This kind of threat is not viewed in the same way by somebody who's experienced that kind of thing than it is to you or me. This isn't a realistic deterrence. It's just a performance of cruelty. Should we abolish the Home Office? What we should abolish is the hostile, cruel, evil policies that are enacted by the Home Office. Arguably, it does need complete, raise it to the ground and start again. But ultimately, starting again has to mean starting again with better policies. We need to scrap the policies that create such harm in our communities, such harm to the people seeking safety here. What happened to the idea that refugees should declare themselves as such in the first safe country? The UK infrastructure cannot cope with this influx of migrants. What is wrong with taking the Australian policy of accepting only those who are beneficial to the UK? Well, Andy, you're wrong. If you think about the concept that refugees should just stay in the first country they reach when they fled persecution, that would result in all refugees being housed in a very few countries around the world, mainly much, much poorer countries than the UK. And while most refugees are accommodated in those countries, it's reasonable that those few who make their way to countries like ours, like the UK and like other European countries, should be accommodated by ourselves. And obviously that's what the law actually says. You don't have to stop in the first safe country. It's complete nonsense. And Australia also still receives asylum seekers just like every other developed country does. People move, you can't stop it. Is there a policy where housing is provided preferentially to asylum seekers or refugees over UK citizens? No. Hi Zoe, hi. In your opinion, who's the most effective organisation to donate to do the greatest good for migrants? If I was giving my money to anyone, it would be Calais Appeal. The Calais Appeal gives money to, I think it's 8 very small grassroots organisations that are operating largely on a volunteer basis to support people in northern France who are destitute, homeless, being harassed by the police and suffering in freezing cold conditions, hoping to make it across to the UK because we have no safe route that we will offer them. Thank you to everybody who sent in a question. I hope that it helped you understand a little bit, gave you some answers to some of the common myths that we hear about migrants and refugees. I think the government is wrong that we all want to be cruel to refugees. The polls show that we don't support the Rwanda plan, that we don't support cruelty, that we want an asylum system that works and that protects people. So we need to speak up about it and not let them get away with that narrative anymore.